How are we doing, boys and girls? Today we're going to start off with a Sunday review, and we're going to cover all the previous lessons. And then I'm going to start talking to you guys about a new lesson, which is lesson 7.4. Okay, so if you feel a little bit strong about the previous lessons, you can fast forward a little bit to when I begin about lesson 7.4, and you can follow along in your textbook. All right. Um, So we'll begin by talking about the line. A line is a set of points that are arranged in a way, and they can be thought of as like a piece of string that's been pulled really, really tight across. Lines are supposed to be straight, okay, in general. They're straight lines. And we are talking about two types of lines, vertical and horizontal lines. Okay, so vertical lines are going up and down. Horizontal lines are going side to side. Okay, and of course, you guys are smart and you know about diagonal lines, but we're not talking about those just yet. Okay, all right, and then when we're discussing lines, there's two very, very important types of lines, the parallel line and then the perpendicular line. Okay, so parallel lines are two lines that are running side by side that never actually touch each other. Okay, think of it as two roads that go in the same direction, but they never meet each other, they never touch each other. Okay, um, and perpendicular lines are like two roads that come across each other. Okay, so they come across each other in a perfectly straight way. Okay, so it'll be one vertical line and one horizontal line that are touching each other. Okay, at a 90-degree angle. So they form a perfect square. They form a perfect square in the middle. Okay, in the middle, they form a perfect square. Okay, an intersecting line are the intersecting lines are two lines that they do meet each other. However, they don't meet perfectly straight. They just cross over each other in kind of a weird way, which doesn't make them perpendicular. They're intersecting, but not perpendicular. So we have, in conclusion, three types of lines that we're really focusing on. Okay, parallel lines. So sets of parallel lines, which are two lines that run in the same direction, never touch each other. Perpendicular lines are two lines that do touch each other, and they touch each other in a almost perfect way, forming a square in the middle. And the final one is intersecting lines. They are crossing over each other, but they are not crossing over each other in a 90-degree angle, which means they are not perpendicular. They're intersecting, not perpendicular. Perpendicular lines are intersecting, but we'll call them perpendicular lines. Okay. All right. Now that I've bored you to death with that, why don't you guys tell me what you would classify the following lines as? I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds. I don't have my Jeopardy music, but you guys know the Jeopardy music. So hum that in your head and answer the question. So, I'm not going to do the rest. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take up these answers now. So the first one, you should have said they are perpendicular. Okay. The second one is a horizontal line. The third one, these are intersecting lines. They're intersecting, but they are not perpendicular. The fourth one is a vertical line. And the fifth set of lines are parallel. Okay, they are parallel lines. And number six, I'll just say that's a line. It is running diagonally. Okay, all right. Okay, again, a little bit of review. This is when we're talking about shapes that are formed by different types of lines. Okay, so we have parallel and perpendicular faces. So, for example, you can think of that as okay, perpendicular faces are like the faces, the top and the side of a square or a cube. Those are perpendicular. And parallel faces are like the sides and the sides, or the top and the bottom. The top and the bottom of a cube are not going to be touching each other, are not even going to be uh, they're not in contact with each other, so they are parallel faces, and the top and the side are perpendicular. Okay. All right. And I think you guys understand that in, for example, a triangle or a pyramid, that you or a prism, you will end up with some sides that are touching each other that are not necessarily perpendicular. They are touching each other, but they're not perpendicular. They are intersecting. Okay. All right. Here we go. We're talking about rectangles here. So as you can see with the rectangle, we have AD and BC, and AD and BC are parallel to each other. Okay. And then we have AB and BC, and AB and BC are perpendicular to each other. Okay, and they are all intersecting lines, right? But they're not just intersecting; they are perpendicular. All right. So here we go again, talking about our three-dimensional shapes. And a cube or rectangular prism consists of faces, edges, and vertices. You guys know what a vertex is. A vertex is the corner. Okay, so it is a corner where two edges meet. That's a vertex. An edge is where two faces meet. So that's a line where two faces sides are up against each other. And the flat side of any of these 3D shapes is called a face. It's got to be a flat side, okay? Okay, so yeah, again, it's got to be a flat side, okay, to be called a face. Anyways, that's the end of the review for now, and we're gonna start talking about the new lesson, lesson 7.4, in the next video, okay? So you guys can go on to the next video, which is about quadrilaterals.